A very good morning to all of you. So, as I promised in my previous video, I'll post another video on the formation of the notochord. So here I am with all the steps of the notochord formation. So in my previous video, we covered till the formation of primitive streak, and from the primitive streak, the formation of intraembryonic mesoderm. So what is the next step now? Few cells of the primitive streak at the cranial end. This was a procaudal plate, so this is the cranial end, this is the caudal end, right? So at the cranial end, few cells will rapidly divide and form a bulge, and this bulge is known as primitive knot. Primitive knot or Hansen's node. So a primitive knot or the Hansen's node is a very important structure because it is this structure now which will lead to the formation of notochord. It induces the formation of the notochord, right? So we have these cells now, they will bulge into the intraembryonic mesoderm. This is the intraembryonic mesoderm. They will go into the intraembryonic mesoderm and there is a limit. They will reach only till this end. That means this is the procaudal plate, this is its cranial end, this is its caudal end. The cells will start from cranial end of primitive streak to the caudal end of the procaudal plate. So we have these cells going in the intraembryonic mesoderm, right? Now this structure is known as primitive notochord. This is called the primitive notochord, right? Next step is a cavity will appear here, a pit will appear here in the primitive knot, which is known as blastopore, and this cavity of the blastopore, it will extend all the way into the primitive notochord. So this cavity of the blastopore has extended all the way into the notochord, thus converting the primitive notochord into the notochordal canal. Notochordal canal, also known as neurenteric canal. Neurenteric canal. Right? Now all these things can be simply shown in another section. Let me go with that. That is a very simple diagram to draw. So this is the ectoderm, right? Below this we have the endoderm. And here we have the primitive notochord. This primitive notochord, now because of the cavity of the blastopore has hollowed out and now it has converted into a neurenteric canal or a notochordal canal. What will be the next step? So this is now notochordal canal. What will be the next step? The cells of the floor of this notochordal canal will intercalate with the cells of endoderm. So what will be the picture now? The cells of the floor of this will intercalate. So this is the notochordal canal. The floor cells have intercalated with the cells of the endoderm. Right? Then small openings will appear in the floor, and finally all of these cells will disintegrate. Now, as it is clear in this picture, below this endoderm there is a yolk sac. Above the ectoderm there is an amniotic cavity, and as we know by this diagram, this blastopore cavity is extending into it. right? So this is the time, this is the moment where the notochord is in continuity with the yolk sac below and the amniotic cavity above through this blastopore. Then what happens? Again the cells here there will be formation of the cells will flatten down and there will be formation of a notochordal plate. So this is the formation of notochordal plate. In the next step, again the endoderm will be there and there will be formation of a circular notochord, but still it is hollow. In the next step, the cells will multiply and make it a solid notochord. Now this is known as the definitive notochord. So there are many steps. This is one diagram. Then you can show it by a flow chart that how the cells were solid. The notochord was solid first. Then it became hollow because of the extension of the blastopore cavity. Then the floor of the notochord intercalated with endoderm. There were openings, the floor broke down. The whole cavity was in communication with the notochord. Then again the endoderm, it became intact. The notochord became a round structure and by the multiplication of cells, it became a solid notochord that is known as a definitive notochord. Right now we made a disc. In the previous video I showed you an embryonic disc. What were all the structures in this disc? There was a procaudal plate, right? We made a procaudal plate. Then we made a primitive streak. Now what will be the additions in this video? There is a primitive streak. I told you at the cranial end of the primitive, this hole is a primitive streak. At its cranial end, there is Hansen's node. So this is the cranial end and this is the Hansen's node. This is the Hansen's node. Then what did we do? We did that from the cranial end of the primitive streak, the notochord starts forming till the caudal end of the procaudal plate. So this is the Hansen's node. The notochord will start forming and it will extend to the caudal end of the. So this is the notochord that is formed in the center. This is a definitive notochord that is formed in the central axis. Besides this, we have already done this, that there is a buccopharyngeal membrane here, right? There is a cloacal membrane here and the connecting stalk. I showed it in the connecting stalk in the previous video. It was very large in size, the part where the extraembryonic mesoderm has not extended. But now, with the growth of the embryonic disc, connecting stalk remains as a very small structure and it is restricted to the tail end of the embryo. This is the tail end, this is the head end, this is the tail end. So it is restricted to the tail end of the embryo. So this is the connecting stalk which will form the future umbilical cord. And rest we have in this diagram you can also show the intraembryonic mesoderm. Intraembryonic mesoderm. So this is the formation of the notochord. Right? And what is the fate of the notochord? This is again a very important question. What is the fate of notochord? The notochord is formed in the region where the future vertebral column will develop. It will elongate as the embryo elongates and it will develop in the region where the future vertebral column is formed. But it doesn't form the vertebral column. It will form only one part, that is the nucleus pulposus. Nucleus pulposus is a part of the intervertebral disc. And another part is there is a vertebra, that is the axis vertebra. It has a dens and an apical ligament is attached to that dens. So notochord will be forming the apical ligament of the dens of axis vertebra. So two structures formed by notochord. One is the nucleus pulposus and another is the apical ligament of the dens of the axis vertebra. Thank you so much for viewing this video. If you like it, press the like icon, subscribe my channel, tell your colleagues about it And in the next video, I'll be posting another topic, that is neurulation. That means the formation of the neural tube. That means how the neural tube is formed and then how the brain and the spinal cord are formed from that. Thank you so much for viewing the video.